sports, statistically speaking, you have at least played one form of an athletic sport in your day and age, okay? And I've debated how I was going to do this video. Am I going to do this video by how difficult these sports are? No, because that would require me to play every single one of these sports, and I'll be real with you. Am I going to go play a game of what is that? Lacrosse? No, I'm not going to play a game of lacrosse, okay? So we're not going to do it off difficulty because that's going to start a debate. No. We're going to do something a little bit more controversial. I'm going to rate them on how much aura they have, okay? The video that I made a few days ago weirdly did good. So is this an excuse to maybe farm the algorithm? I don't know. But we're going to be talking about sports and how much aura I think they have. To define what aura is, it is like an atmosphere around a person, place, thing, or activity that gives an emotion, emanates an emotion, okay? Like an example of this. I'm not the biggest fan of European football. However, I respect Messi and I respect Ronaldo. There's something about those people, they just emit aura. And as much as I do like playing badminton, can you name me one professional badminton player? No. That is the example that I'm going to go into with this, okay? I tried to include as many sports as I possibly can. However, I immediately had to cut my losses when I found out that professional sweeping was a sport. So I know I'm going to make some people mad that their favorite sport isn't on here, but trust me, I tried my best, okay? No more long-winded intro. Please consider like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost to 50K subscribers. Genuinely crazy. That's my goal for the end of the year. We are less than 5,000 subscribers away from it. I am fully confident they're going to be able to reach it. At this point in time, we're just having fun getting over there. And if we do get the 50K, I do got a 50K special planned for that. So subscribe if you want to see what that is. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the sports aura tier list. Basketball. Listen, let me tell you something about basketball, okay? As a 6'1" white guy, I've had to cut my losses. That's not my thing, okay? I wasn't aware that 6 foot became the new 5'11", okay? And listen, it ain't my thing. It is not my thing. However, I can acknowledge that LeBron James has aura, okay? When I was going over historical figures, I was actually debating putting Michael Jordan on there. Michael Jordan's my GOAT, okay? He is. I like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has a little bit more of that energy that I respect. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Yeah, there's just something about it, bro. Like, is it the most intimidating sport? No. Do I think it's kind of cringe whenever, like, somebody like LeBron James or, like, Kyrie Irving, they get into a little scuffle with somebody and then they say something like, I'm gonna knock your block off, bro. Yeah, let's run it in the back. Brother, you're a basketball player. Your sport is to dribble a ball to a hoop and put the ball in the hoop. You ain't a fighter, dog. Like, yeah, you're tall. Like, I want you to think about this right now. How much aura would the NBA have if it was just a bunch of 5'7" white dudes? Like, I'll just be real here. Like, it's one thing that they're, like, super tall. If they're super tall, like, imagine if LeBron James was 5'5". Like, nobody would be like, the king. Like, we're gonna get into that when I do cover, like, MMA later on in the video. But, like, how difficult is it to give aura to a 6'8" dude? Like, how difficult is that? This dude is a massive human being. In any other sport, bro would be a menace. So, him playing basketball and him doing some stuff like, I'm the king, and then getting a skin in Fortnite, I mean, like, it helps that you're as tall as you are and you are as built as you are. That's the thing. If it was a bunch of 5'7" dudes, it would lose some of its aura. But however, I'm going to take the build into account here. You got to be super tall, you got to be fairly built, you got to be athletic. Nobody's saying basketball players are not athletic. I'm not getting controversial here. I do think there are people that are more athletic that I will say later on in the video. However, as far as aura, I would actually put basketball players as in our B tier. They're above average, a little bit above average. If I had to give them a grade, I'd give them like a C+ in terms of aura, or a B-. But it doesn't have the aura that it would need to get into an A or an S tier, or as in this video, it's going to be him. I'll explain when we get there. But I think B tier, and I do want to say this because the European football people are not going to be happy with my ranking. I'm not judging it by your most aura-filled player. I'm judging it by the average of the entire sport. Messi and Ronaldo would be like an A or an S tier if we're just going like aura for athletes. Your sport, however, brings down the average. I'm going to put basketball B tier. Let's get going. Badminton. Listen, you're just easier tennis. Okay, and I'll be real with you. Tennis isn't going that far. Name one professional tennis player. Serena Williams. That's all I got. Okay, I can't even name a male. Jokic, I don't know. I don't know any professional tennis player, okay? If you came up to me and said, oh yeah, I'm a professional badminton player, no lie, I would think you were joking. I would actually probably audibly laugh at you because I thought that'd be a fun joke. How did you make your money? I play professional badminton. Said literally nobody ever that isn't driving a Toyota Corolla. Okay, I'm not trying to say you guys are broke. All I'm saying is I want to know how much money that you're making as a professional badminton player. Like, genuine question. I've thought about this. Bro, imagine being super talented in a sport that nobody gives a fuck about. Like, imagine being the GOAT of badminton. Like, come on. Like you can't even go to another sport. Imagine being the GOAT. This isn't going to be on the list, but like pickleball. Like, that sucks. Like, the Michael Jordan of a sport that nobody cares about, that's a rough existence. I'd rather be average in another sport. D tier. Do I even need to explain it? You're easier tennis. Like, there are sports that I respect, but actually, I don't know. Badminton might receive the most disrespect. It was fun in high school. It was. But, like, we liked it in high school because it wasn't as difficult as tennis. And tennis is weirdly difficult, and people don't realize it until they play it. I'm going to put badminton in D tier. I don't think anybody's going to go against me on this one. Boxing. Listen, boxing is one of the most aura-filled sports that we've ever invented, okay? It's been around for thousands of years. The Greeks used to do it. It is one of those sports. I would argue that boxing goes into like that legacy category of sports of like the original ones, okay? I have a soft spot for me when it comes to combat sports because I'm just going to say my controversial opinion. I think the ultimate test of athletics is your ability in combat because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, let me just say this right now. Now that we're getting into my controversial take, okay? I think how we like certain athletics and why we as a species treasure athletic people, it comes down to, yeah, you were the guy that we had the task to fight the saber-toothed cat, or you were the dude that would beat up the other tribe, frankly. I think all other sports are derivatives of the original sport, and that is warfare and combat, frankly. Okay, like I'll talk more about it when we cover certain sports. But all I'm saying is boxing, brother, you're throwing hands. Like, the reason that I love combat sports more than other sports, it's like, if a basketball player has a beef with another basketball player, they'll get in each other's face, have a little face-off, and maybe they'll throw one punch. If you have a beef with another boxer, you have the ability to go into the octagon, not the octagon, that's another one. You have the ability to go into the ring with somebody and settle it mano a mano. I think that's a respectable thing. As far as boxing, I mean, like, here's the thing, bro. You got to put it in him. Is it going to be the only him? Absolutely not, but I would put it in him. But if somebody strolls up to you and says, I'm a professional boxer, your demeanor towards that person completely changes. You ever wonder why, like, fighters, for the most part, like, okay, in my experience, professional fighters are either some of the most chill human beings you'll ever meet or actual psychopaths. It's one of two reasons. They're psychopaths, and that's what made them a good fighter to begin with. Or they're super chill because they realize that they could break you. And they don't like that. Imagine if you went into any conversation and the person that you're talking to gave you any type of aggression. There is nothing that guy could actually do to you. There is an aura there that is unmatched, okay? What are you going to do if you have a beef with Mike Tyson? Fucking nothing. That's what you're going to do. You'll do what you're told. Like, for real, bro. Him. Soccer or European football. I already said it in the beginning of the video. You guys got Ronaldo and Messi, and I'm just going to say it right now. They are like the aura merchants of your entire sport. If y'all didn't have... Well, actually, I don't want to say that. If y'all didn't have Messi and Ronaldo, somebody else would rise because every other place on the planet other than America, and I'll talk about why I think that is, treasure soccer like it's another religion. Okay, am I aware that Ronaldo is such a crazy famous person worldwide that he's probably more famous than any American ever? Yes, I'm aware of that, okay? And for that, that's going to bring you guys up farther than I would as an American. Let me just first off, if we're judging it off of American football, soccer, if we're going to judge it by there, I might put you in C tier, okay? But European football and the aura that that sport has draws it so far up that I don't even give a fuck about the sport. And I have to put you guys at the same level as a basketball. Honestly, I do think that. I'm going to put you guys at the same level as a basketball, but don't push me on this one, okay? I'm going to say something that seems going to be pretty anti-American in the next segment. So, you European football fans, don't be pushing me too far. I was going to put you in C tier, but Messi and Ronaldo and your whole aura around the sport brought it up. So, be happy where I put you. Baseball. Let me give you some Ethan lore really quick, okay? I come from a baseball family, okay? My father played professional baseball in Russia. And I can already hear some of the people saying, Ethan is a Soviet sleeper agent confirmed. Ever since I did the Russian accent, there's like 20% of you that think that's where I come from. And that probably didn't help my case. But my dad played professional ball in Russia during this. Wow, this is not. Yeah, no, he played during the fall of the Soviets. Wow, this does not help my case at all. Loved it. Like, the more I think about it, the more this does it. He brought home, he had, like, to this day, he has, like, this blanket, and it has the Soviet flag on it. The Soviet Union flag, hammer, and whatever the hell this is, like, the scythe, right? And he has, like, 50 medals on it. And all the medals are, like, Soviet themed. The point I'm trying to make here is, okay, I've been watching baseball my entire life. I'm not a big baseball player. I'm not a big fan of it. Do I got an arm on me? 100% I do, okay? Do I got some power in a bat swing? 100% I do. Not my thing, not my cup of tea. You want to see somebody else that likes it? My brother. My brother is a huge baseball player. Maybe I'll have him on for a future video talking about this. However, I don't understand it. I'm sorry. Top of the 7th inning? Why the fuck? What? Why don't just call it rounds? Why do you call it an inning? Like, I'm gonna be real, okay? I can say this because I'm a Caucasus man, okay? That's one of the whitest things I've ever heard. Oh, look at that, top of the 7th inning. Okay, bro. Take off the top hat, okay? That's all I'm saying. Call it a round, okay? Basketball has quarters. No, basketball has halves. Football has quarters. What does baseball have? Innings. Top of the 5th. Bottom of the 6th. Okay, bro. Like, that's my problem. I really hate how that is. I just don't like it. It's annoying. Some of the rules still don't make sense to me. However, I am going to say this, okay? And baseball is going to earn a lot of its aura back with this one. Even if you don't understand the sport, when you watch some grain-fed white boy coming out of Kansas, okay? Spitting out some nicotine on the ground, waving a baseball bat like it owes him money, and absolutely fucking thundercunts a baseball 450 feet away, and then throws that baseball bat like a tomahawk and starts going around. And that, listen, that has to be one of the greatest feelings in the world. Is anybody going to deny that? Okay, and I can say that is definitely more difficult than you think it is. My brother thinks hitting a baseball is the most difficult thing you could do of any sport. And I always say to him, how many people hit a home run a game? Oh, well, like maybe like 1. How many people have ever beaten Khabib Nurmagomedov? 0? All right, little bro. Like, no joke, that is actually how this conversation goes. I'm going to put baseball at the top of C tier. Yes, I'm open to moving it up to B-. I'm open to moving it up. Actually, because my family watches this, I'm going to move it to B-. Okay, yes. But don't worry, I will be a tough judge. Yeah, no, I put soccer above it. Messi and Ronaldo are hard carrying, okay? Just saying that. Golf. Now I'm going to make some people mad. If you are not a rich person playing golf, you are a poor man cosplaying. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, maybe, like, playing golf once in a while, yes. Being a professional golf player, like, unless, like, let me tell you something. There's only like two players in golf that have aura, okay? There's Tiger Woods, who has like 90% of it, and then the other 10% is to the one professional golfer who drinks a Diet Coke and smokes a cigarette right before he takes a swing. Like, I'm not even kidding you. He smokes a full cigarette before he hits the golf ball, and then when he walks to the golf ball again, he smokes another full cigarette. That is the peak of human athletics right there. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of respect for golfers. I don't. You're rich people. Like, you kind of have to be rich. One of your biggest stars was Stephen Curry. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Chill. I'm going to put it in C tier. Yep, now I'm going to be mean. It's going in C tier. Like, if you say I'm a professional golfer, I'm like, all right, bro. That's cool. Get back to me when you play a real sport. Maybe I won't be that mean, but I'll be closer to that. MMA. Okay, this is where my bias comes out. I got my start in content creation off making little TikTok videos talking about MMA fighters, and that's something that I still do to this day. Okay? Cage side combos will forever live in infamy in my head. So I actually probably have the most knowledge on this compared to any other sport on this list. And when I tell you that you can crap on it all you want, I really can't name another athlete that had as much aura as Conor McGregor when he beat Eddie Alvarez. Legitimately. If you want to see peak MMA, if I had to recommend one fight to you, and that is the peak MMA experience, it is Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez. Okay? One of the greatest performances by a challenger to a champion I have ever seen in my entire life. I have been watching MMA since I was 11 years old. I was season 13 of The Ultimate Fighter, Junior Dos Santos versus Brock Lesnar. The winner of that was a guy named Tony Ferguson, who I think a lot of you guys know of. And I've been in love with MMA ever since, okay? Got the ears. Started training martial arts the moment I got out of high school. Got my ears fucked up within a year. And the next sport that we're going to be covering was my background before that. But that's a little bit of Ethan lore for you. I love it, bro. MMA, like, if anybody has a question of why I'm putting it as high up as I'm going to, there's a guy named Ilia Topuria who currently has some of the most aura in MMA. He's 5'7". Name another sport where you could be 5'7" and be the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Name one. I dare you. I'm putting this sport actually over boxing. And actually, now this is where I can get into my boxing slander. When boxers call themselves fighters, it legitimately makes me cringe. You're not a fighter, you're a boxer. Okay? That's like me after I get done with the jiu-jitsu match and I call myself a fighter. If I call a match that I do a super fight, that's stupid. That's really dumb. Okay? I'm not a fighter, you're not a fighter, you're a boxer. If you get into a cage and fight somebody, you are an MMA fighter. Okay? I'm sorry, there's levels. There's levels to this, okay? Combat sports have the most aura. They just do. Sorry, I gotta spoil it for you. Track and field. Now, this is what I did before that. In my entire high school career, I was a track runner, okay? If anybody's curious, I could run a 400 meter in sub 1 minute. I was not that good of a runner, okay? I'm 6'1", 195 pounds. I wasn't built for that life, okay? Like, it was actually kind of crazy. I didn't think I was athletic until I got out of high school, and then I started training martial arts. And then I realized, oh, damn, I'm actually, like, kind of good at this. Like, that was, like, my coming to Jesus moment. A lot of stuff happened after I graduated. Like, maybe me going in the content creation was my way of coping with my lack of social skills. You never know. I talk to the camera more than I talk to any other human being. Damn, that just sounded really sad. But anyways, that's the truth. That's the truth here, okay? Where was I? Track and field. You're running. You're a racer. Like, here's the thing, bro. Let me tell you a story about the time where I found out my friend was a furry. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna tell you his Spanish name, okay? Because he has a normal name, but we took Spanish together, and my Spanish teacher gave him a Spanish name, and it was Dos Nombres. Dos Nombres was a furry, and he was like a mega furry, okay? He was wearing that fursuit. He was over here having a good old time. You know, he was being a good old boy. Wow. Okay. Dos Nombres was a cool dude. Let me just say that. He was a cool dude, really good at IT, fit the stereotype to a T, okay? Was a really big fan of Alpha and Omega, if you guys remember that movie. And this guy was one of our fastest guys, okay? This motherfucker was doing sub 5-minute miles, okay? He was a demon. He was a speed demon. Okay? His furry name was probably something like Bolt. I'm sorry, Dos Nombres. You're a cool dude. I can talk shit. You got a scholarship. You got to go to college for free. Trust me. Yeah, you could just say that. Anyways, he was racing this other school. This other school found out that he was a furry. And when I tell you it was a different time, okay, this man was ripping the F slur here and there. I came from a country school. We still had softcore slavery with the special needs kids. Also, that's another one. How many of your schools had slavery when it came to the special needs children? Like, genuine question. Like, that was my school. I was homeschooled for the longest time, so I didn't know that was a bad thing until I visited another school and realized, wait a minute, you guys actually teach the special needs kids and don't just give them Windex and cleaning supplies? Like, that was another coming to Jesus moment. I didn't realize that was the type of surroundings I was in. But Dos Nombres was getting called a few names, and you could tell Dos Nombres wasn't taking it. Yeah, he's a furry, but he'll throw hands. And this man said, "I'm gonna whoop your ass in this race." So they go to the starting line, and it was a 1 mile race. This motherfucker hit a PR, and it was him. And then 30 seconds later, the next person came, and when this motherfucker probably felt like him, okay, and that was him. And I was wondering why this was the case until I remembered. Imagine if your greatest, like, achievement in life... No. Whoa, let me try not to sound mean. If what you're looking forward to is doing the deed in a furry suit, yeah, you probably have ungodly cardio. If you put the biggest furry in the world against David Goggins and told them to run as far as they could, I would actually put $100 on the furry. Unironically. You have any idea how hot those fucking things get? I don't know either, but Dos Nombres does, and this man was barely breaking a sweat. We were racing in 110-degree weather. Wow, this story's gotten away. That's Ethan lore for you. I'm putting it in C tier. C tier above golf. Dos Nombres. Shout out to the homie. He brought it up above golf. So yeah. Rugby. Let me tell you something about me again. The hardest I've ever been... the most hurt I've ever been in, like, a grappling match was against a rugby player. Okay, I think his name was, like, Steve. I'm gonna say Steve. Steve was a massive dude, okay? Steve came in over here, grabbed me, threw me like a little rag doll, okay? We were supposedly in the same weight class, and this man hit me to the ground so hard, I thought I'd knock the wind out of me. Did I lose? Nah, I won. I did, actually. I broke his foot. But dude hurt me really bad. That's the most hurt I've ever been in any, no, not the most hurt. I've also broken my foot. That's the hardest I've ever been hit with a takedown before in my life, okay? I've been hit with, like, collegiate level wrestlers, and they hurt less to take me down than your average rugby player. Rugby players just try to hurt you. That's what I've kind of come down to. I think rugby players just try to hurt you. And there's a reason that transfers so well to MMA. Alexander Volkanovski, one of the greatest featherweights to ever live, was a rugby player. Okay? So rugby transfers well to combat sports because I think you guys have that killer mindset. And you can be 5'7" and still be a demon. So I'm gonna put rugby, unironically, at A tier. A tier. I wish rugby was more popular in America. I think that shit would be hype. And your football without pads, automatically aura goes up. Wrestling. Wrestling is one of the most disrespected sports in the world. I'm just going to say it right now. Because the WWE unironically has ruined how people view wrestling, because wrestling at the collegiate and the Olympic level is at such a high level that people think it's a completely different sport. And let me tell you something right now. Who do I think is the most athletic athlete? Unironically, I think it's collegiate level wrestlers. I think collegiate level wrestlers are the most athletic people. And you're going to say that to me and be like, oh, you're covering yourself. Brother, I'm not a collegiate level wrestler. I'm like barely high school level, okay? I know enough wrestling where I can beat up the average person. If you put me at, like, There's a saying that we have. If you're going up against a collegiate level wrestler, it is not about not getting taken down. It's about what are you going to do when he gets you down. A collegiate level wrestler will put your back on the mat 10 out of 10 times. It's just about how are you going to get back up. You can win. It's just going to be difficult. They got aura, dog. They do. I'm going to put it at the bottom of A. If you say you're a professional wrestler and it's not WWE, I'm automatically not going to try to fuck with you, dog. As simple as that. Professional ping pong players. Okay, I was actually asking my mom about this, and my mom said something that I would like to quote for you. Her optics of how she looked at ping pong changed when she watched Forrest Gump. She watched Forrest Gump become the greatest ping pong player ever in that movie, and she said, I don't need to watch anymore. Keep in mind, Forrest Gump is a fictitious character. And she was like, nah, I've seen enough. That's my mother. Maybe I'll invite her on one day. But that's how I kind of feel about ping pong too. Does it get intense? Yeah, but like, it has intense moments. I'm gonna put ping pong. I'm breezing through this one because there's not a lot I can say on it. A ping pong is an Olympic sport. I put ping pong above golf. Maybe that's a controversial take. Maybe it's not. Golf just has billionaire aura. That's all it is. A lot of billionaires play golf. Simple as that. A strongman contest. A strongman contest, to me, has more aura than Chris Bumstead. Okay? Because, say what you want. If you're Brian Saw, ain't nobody fucking with you, dog. If you're Thor Bjornsson, ain't nobody fucking with you. Okay? The only thing that bothers me about the strongman community is that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you think you could beat me in a fight? Look how strong I am. It's like, here's the thing. Strength and weight has a lot to do with how good you're going to be in martial arts. That is 100% a factor. However, if you are an untrained person, you're probably going to get your ass beat by somebody who's 5'7". Unless you're Brian Saw. Brian Saw, unironically, would grab my face and just break it. Like, if Brian Saw strolled up to if we had like a good old-fashioned war in like suits of armor, and somebody built like Brian Saw strolled up to my beaches, I would be like, I didn't know that they commissioned Thor to sew up to the battle. Like, we're fucked. We are. And I'm sorry, grabbing a keg with one hand and throwing that 30 feet in the air, that scares me because I know that could be me next. Like, say what you want. If somebody can pick you up and throw you like a sack of potatoes, like, I'm sorry, there's not a lot that I can say to that. There's not a lot, okay? I'm going to put, and the scary part is most of it is genetics. Like, am I dumb? Do I think that Brian Saw took some substances? Yes. However, you don't get that big without having absurd genetics. You just don't. I'm going to put strongman at the, actually, I'm putting it in, I'm going to put it in A tier, bottom of A tier. It's the close, yeah, bottom of A tier. Now we're getting tough. Now we're getting tough here. Professional bodybuilding. Professional bodybuilding is not going to beat out strongman because all somebody that does strongman has to say is, them's are beauty muscles, little bro. And then you can't really say anything back. But however, it is super inspirational to watch somebody like Sam Sulek, or I know Sam Sulek is not like a professional. Okay, somebody who looks like that lift and get that big, that's inspirational. It just is, okay? Watching Chris Bumstead become the undisputed GOAT. Well, okay, not undisputed, but one of the GOATs is pretty crazy to see. And when I look at somebody like Chris Bumstead, I think to myself, maybe Canada isn't all bad. Maybe Canada is actually pretty all right, and not just America's attic geopolitically. When I talk about bodybuilding, I like the ethos about it, about self-improvement and like making the best version of yourself. It does get weird when we start going into the pharmaceutical aspect of it, but I know a lot of bodybuilders. They're super chill people. I've only met one that I didn't like, but I think he was extra hormonal from the steroids. Every other one was chill. They were just chill people, and I respected them. I'm gonna put them below basketball. Actually, C tier. Yes, I actually baseball by baseball. I'm gonna put it by baseball. Actually, yeah. I'm sorry, Chris Bumstead's carrying you, dog, because all I gotta say is like, well, yeah, you're doing steroids and you're hormonal and those are beauty muscles, little bro. Like, that's all I gotta say. I'm sorry. Football. American football, actually. To bring it all back, okay, I have a theory that the sports that make it big in America are the sports that are meant to simulate warfare. Let me tell you something about America. Did you know that baseball single-handedly changed the design of grenades? Because the American youth were so good at throwing baseballs that they made grenades that, yes, were less powerful, but they were the exact shape and weight of a normal baseball. Because one thing that's interesting about the military, or at least our military, is that to get children to fight, or to get like young men to fight, they make warfare similar to what people are good at. I'm going to call it right now, the future of warfare is going to be a lot of people at a desk, and it's going to be a lot of former Counter-Strike players. That's my prediction. I think we're going full drone warfare. Brother, we have Predator drones that can be piloted with a fucking Xbox controller. Do you have any idea how crazy that is? Oh, and to bring it back to football. Football was created as an allegory or as a training exercise for trench warfare. Watch a American football game and how they line up and tell me that shit is not like trench warfare. People even call it, yeah, I'm in the trenches with my brothers. Okay, yeah. Football was meant to be a training exercise for trench warfare. So a lot of the sports that make it big over here have something to do with some type of like wartime activity, because America, I'll talk about this in the empire or country tier list that I eventually do. America is a warmongering society, but we forgot that was us. We were literally founded on a war. We became a superpower in the shortest amount of time out of any empire ever. And we make most of our money from the military. Our currency isn't even built on anything. All our currency is built on is the idea that we could fuck up any other country on the planet. So our sports are meant to reflect wartime activities because we're secretly a wartime society. That's a fact. Football, no, not a fact, it's my theory. I'm putting football bottom of A. It just is. Watch a football game. That shit is, ooh, that's cold. It is. College football is better than professional. I'll say that. Tennis. Let me tell you something. I didn't have respect for tennis until I played it in gym class. I've actually broken my foot twice. I broke my foot one time in a grappling tournament where he got me in an ankle lock and it literally dislocated my foot from my ankle. I didn't even know you could do that. So that had to get reset and my foot looked like a balloon afterwards. And the other time was when I was playing tennis and I went to go hit the tennis ball and I landed and it crunched my foot. And it was so swollen that they had to, I couldn't get my shoe off. It was bad. So I got respect for tennis players. They gave me one of my worst injuries. Maybe I could make an injury tier list. That would be actually kind of funny. I got nothing to say. Serena Williams is the most I think that's the only one that I can name. I'm not a big tennis guy. I'm gonna put it above badminton. There's just something about badminton that I don't respect. I don't know what it is about it. Okay, there's sports that I respect less, like that fucking broom shit, but that didn't even make it on the list for how little I respect it. Lacrosse. If somebody came to me and said I'm a professional lacrosse player, I would be like, really? There's no other sport that you wanted to do? Like at all? Like, come on. Like, we didn't even have lacrosse as a sport. We had lacrosse as like a club where I was at. We didn't actually have that. I don't get the hype. I don't. I played it in this class called Outdoor Adventure as a kid. And looking back on it, that was like the most hodgepodge class ever. You would build a fort, and then the very next week, they would have you play lacrosse in the parking lot. So, yeah, lacrosse is a weird one. That's the one where you have, like, the net spear, and you throw that at things. It's a difficult sport. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But as far as aura, I would actually put it slightly above badminton in terms of aura. I think that's fair. And there you go. That is the sports aura tier list. I already know I made a lot of people mad with my rankings, but just remember, you can debate this in the comment section and I'll probably check it out. And thank you guys for the support that you give this channel. We're about to get the 50K subscribers, which is genuinely insane. I never thought that we would get there. And honestly, remember that this is your channel. I'm merely just a host of it. And thank you for the support that you give it. If you like this video, please consider like, comment, and subscribe. And be aware for the next video. I try to do a video every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I got a lot of videos that are currently in the pipeline, some fancy stuff that I'm going to be unveiling within the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. Hit the bell icon to stay notified. And with all that out of the way, I will see you all next time. Adios, guys.